Hey, Pastor Scott here today. I want to share a word of encouragement. I want to share with you from the book of Habakkuk in the Old Testament. Habakkuk is written when the children of Israel, when Israel has been invaded by the Assyrians, and then now they're under Babylonian occupation. Jerusalem has been destroyed. The people have been dispersed throughout that whole region. And it's only 3 chapters, this book is, but it's Habakkuk having these questions with God. Questions like, so why do you let bad things happen to good people? Why do you allow the wicked to swallow up the righteous? And he addresses these questions to God. And then the 3rd chapter is his prayer. This is kind of like, this is the net of him having these conversations with God when he has just shared so honestly of his struggles with God and how he has heard God speak. And this is what how Habakkuk this is what he takes away from this whole experience. Habakkuk chapter 3, beginning in the 17th verse. Though the fig trees do not bud and there are no grapes on the vines, though the olive crop fails and the fields produce no food, though there are no sheep in the pen and no cattle in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in God, my Savior. I used to share this verse with my dad when he was in assisted living, and no matter how great an assisted living place is, I mean, it's hard. I mean, you live independently all your lives. You've been in fairly good health, and now you're in a room, and and you're so dependent. And so there would be times he'd say, "Hey, read that verse to me again." And so we would read this, and I love that Habakkuk just shares his heart. He goes, listen, I'm well aware of my circumstances, and they are less than optimal. But as I spend time with God, and as I've been honest to God and poured out the realities and the insecurities and the pain and the suffering and the anxieties of my life, my takeaway after spending time with God in that time of honesty is yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in God, my Savior. Because as he spent time with God, what changed wasn't his circumstances. I mean, the fig tree still didn't have any buds. There were no grapes on the vines. The olive crop failed. There, no sheep in the pen, no cattle in the stalls. But what changed was his heart and a sense of encouragement and a sense of assurance from God. And so during these days, that's my prayer for you, that you can go for God in all of your honesty, and that God would touch you and God would speak to you supernaturally. And that from that, you too would be able to say with Habakkuk, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in God, my Savior. Be blessed today.